I guess my whole life I had this feeling of being homesick. Oops. Even though I was home, and I never quite understood it until today. It took me 36 years to see what this feeling that I can only describe as homesick is really about. And it just started, I sat watching a walk on YouTube in like somewhere in small town America in the fall. And that has always given me this extreme feeling of nostalgia and longing for something, missing something that I've never really experienced. And I also get that nostalgia feeling from listening to 80s songs or picturing or seeing these TV shows in small town America where people just meet at cafes. And today it was so overwhelming, this feeling of longing and feeling nostalgic over something that I've never had or experienced. And so I did what I often do when I need help sorting my mind out or understanding it, and I turned to ChatGPT. And I asked, what does it mean when I have these nostalgic longing feelings towards something, like I'm missing it? I'm missing something, but I haven't actually experienced it, so I can't be missing it because I don't know what it's like. And Chad gives a very long explanation, but it's one of the brain's ways of letting me know something that I've subconsciously been longing for, that often has to do with connection and taking life slowly and living a different way than what I'm doing today. And I felt that was true. And then I just started crying, because it's like one of those moments where a lot of things just fall into place before you're even consciously understanding what falls into place. And there are so many things going on right now all at once, so I'm finding it difficult to describe it, but I've realized why I've sometimes or lately very often been feeling lonely, even though I am surrounded by all of these beautiful people. And I haven't understood this feeling of being lonely until now, because that feeling of nostalgia and longing for something that I didn't have, hey cutie, made me realize it's connected to this feeling of being homesick, because I feel lonely, because I'm feeling like I'm not home. I don't feel like I belong here. And that's probably why I've always been so drawn to these small town TV shows, because I just feel like I would belong there, in a world where people just take life slowly and see each other and connect with each other and care about each other. And I'm not saying we don't care, but what I'm feeling, it's like I'm feeling homesick towards a connection or a place that doesn't exist or that other people don't care about. And I find myself more and more often in these conversations with people where I just zone out because I really don't care about the topics that's being talked about. It's being talked about other people or problems or negativity or these trivial things that doesn't add any meaning to my life. And I probably look very cold or rude sometimes, but I just find myself drifting off to somewhere else in my mind because of that. I am feeling lonely in wanting to be happy, wanting to enjoy everyday life, wanting to feel connected to people, wanting to share love. It's feeling a bit cringy when I say that, but I'm realizing showing love for everyone. And I find myself alone in that because I feel like people don't really want to be happy. Or they do, but they think that this happiness comes from things that has nothing to do with internal happiness and feeling of connection. They want to be successful and have a lot of money, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want that for myself as well, but I want most of all to feel genuinely good and happy in my life, and I want to be with people who wants the same, who wants to prioritize their happiness first. And I also realized, I think, why I've been so up and down in my feelings towards my YouTube channel, because it's mainly about finding that happiness. I'm exploring all of these ways to find that within, regardless of what happens out there. And I'm really excited about these things, and I have been the happiest person I know because of these things. And then I just forgot to use it and got caught up in the drama and people's topics again, and I made room for autopilot thoughts and negativity. So my quest here is to return to the happiest version of me and hopefully inspire others to see that it's possible for them as well. But very often I find that I lose the inspiration or motivation to do this. And I just realized that it hasn't anything to do with YouTube or this channel or this platform. It's about the fact that every time I post a video about this, I feel like, what's the point? Because people don't want this. People want to watch 10 things I did to make $1 million in a year, or have a beauty glow up, or yeah, I don't even know. And there's nothing wrong with these things, but it just, what I realized as this reason for my kind of sorrow that I've been feeling lately without understanding that I've been feeling this sorrow until now, which is really sad to realize, is that I find myself losing hope that people, that my kind of people are out there. Sorry? That we are just wasting our lives looking for the perfect look or job or money and focusing on the future, having most things to show off to each other, or worrying and thinking about problems. And I think over time, that has just, I have always had this internal belief that we are supposed to feel happy and that we can feel happy no matter what happens. And actually, when I was, I think, in the 9th grade on high school, I found myself suddenly very depressed, I guess we could say. And my grades were falling, and the teachers came and talked to me and said, "You're normally the sunshine in the classroom, but you're not anymore." And back then I didn't know why that happened, but I think it was the same thing I experienced then. I just didn't have the words or ways to understand it back then, because I've always been what people might call an empath. Always in some way just intuitively known how people feel. And I've kind of felt it as my own, because I've been very invested in other people's feelings and trying to help them and fix them and all of that. And I think I just felt so much of people not feeling good that I started feeling bad myself. But even then, I got so sick of it, and I had this belief that I'm not supposed to feel this way. So I was 14, 15 years old, and my mom had this book. She was a nurse. She had this book from her studies, a huge red book called Psychiatry. And at 14 or 15 years old, I opened that book and started reading it to fix myself. And that's sad when I think about it now, but also beautiful in a way. But we're not supposed to need that when we're that young, you know? But it just reminded me that even then, I had hope and trust and believe that happiness is attainable. We just need to know the way to find it. And that hope and belief has always been there with me. But now I'm realizing that all of these emotions I'm experiencing of loneliness and longing for home and losing interest or inspiration in doing these things that are sharing these things that I want to share, and feeling that people don't want this kind of information or content, I'm realizing that that hope that I had even when I was depressed teenager seems to be kind of vanishing. And that's so sad. I'm sorry. And I don't want to lose that hope. But there are so many things that's been leading up to this. And I have beautiful, very close friends who actually have had the same belief and wants as me when it comes to feeling as good as we can and choosing happiness and choosing to enjoy our life, that has gone through a lot of hard things in the past and decided to put their happiness as their priority, and got so happy and enjoyed their life and felt supported and curious about what's in life for us, and then just fell back into depression after a while, and have been depressed and have these negative thoughts and beliefs about themselves, about not deserving love or not deserving better, you know? And it's like they feel worse now than they've done in a while. And that really pains me. Even when we have these people who truly want to be happy. And they find a way to be happy, and then something just happens that brings them out of it. And I guess that's the same that has happened to me. And I really didn't think it was possible not to be happy again after what I experienced, because I was flying high and feeling so good for such a long time. And then just let my autopilot mind take over again. And maybe because of all of these things, of me having these whispering thoughts about what's the point if people don't want this, you know? And it scares me that especially young people today are so into beauty in every way and finding ways to be beautiful and feel beautiful. And it's about these glow-ups. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong in that. And glow-ups can be good, but this shouldn't be our main focus. And I honestly think that you are beautiful when you're happy. You're beautiful when you smile. But the teenagers I know today, they're even afraid to smile because they need to look cool. And I don't know what. We are beautiful when we are happy. We are beautiful when we feel good about ourselves. When we smile. When people feel good being around you. That's when we're beautiful. And that's when life is beautiful. And I keep wondering, these longings that I have to stay in this small, beautiful town somewhere in America, is it just another way of my mind trying to escape where I am now? Or is it actually something in it? I do understand that it's teaching me something about wanting this connection and wanting to just sit down and enjoy life over a cup of coffee, watching people, talking to people, not worrying, not stressing about achieving all of these goals and whatnot. But I also know a lot of people growing up in these small towns that really can't wait to get out of there. So who knows, maybe it's just a way of us always wanting something else than what we have, which is also sad. Because of course we should always want new things and go experience new things, but if we never have the ability to find happiness where we are, then what is the point? You know? And I'm feeling also like I don't fit in or belong in these different categories of people. I don't belong in this end where people only look for external things to be happy, because I don't believe in that anymore. I don't belong with a group of people choosing to see the glass as half empty all of the time. I do want to be positive, and I do believe that there is value to gain from every situation if we just use our minds on purpose. And I would say I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't belong to the most spiritual people, because I find that a lot of these priorities is about kind of escaping this reality and staying in a different reality. But we are here. And my kind of spirituality means tending to our spirits more than our surroundings. Making sure that our spirits feel good here and now on this particular place in this particular time. And that's also something I guess I thought or hoped that I would find here on YouTube. Like, there must be someone out there who wants these things and who believes that it's possible to be happy and feel good about our lives if we just choose it. Who still wants to relate to this reality. And sometimes I just find myself too positive for people. And that also takes a toll on it sometimes, you know. I remember one of the places I worked in, when I was feeling my absolute best, I had walked for a while to get into my job. And it was a beautiful spring morning. There was blue skies and birds and flowers and lovely smells, and I just took it all in. And I came into the office and I smiled at everyone and I said, "It's such a beautiful day today." And then the answer was, "Yeah, but it's gonna rain tomorrow, so don't get your hopes up." And that little thing has just become such a big metaphor for what I'm feeling, for this homesickness of mine, longing to feel at home in myself, in this world, in my connections. If we cannot enjoy today because of what might happen tomorrow, then what is the point of any day? Why are we not seeing this more clearly? Why are we not choosing to be happy first and then prioritize all of these external changes or goals that we want? Why are we not seeing that every time we complain about something or worry about something or make these problems, we are just postponing our happiness. We are just choosing to feel bad. And I know bad things happen. I know that. I'm not walking around on pink clouds, not at all. But I also do know that we have the ability to choose how we want to feel about these things. Some things are just painful and they should be. We should allow them to be, but they don't have to color each and every part of our lives. No one has the ability to make us happy other than ourselves. So why are we not using that? Why are we not wanting to use that? Why are we not caring more about how we feel instead of what we have? I feel like I'm just awakening to a lot of things about myself. And it's a big relief because I've been feeling out of sorts for a while and I haven't really been able to understand why, but now all the pieces just fit together. I feel like I don't belong. I feel like I want what other people don't care about. And I'm sad that we don't care about it more. And I'm wondering if there are people like me out there, if there is point in continuing with this, or if I just should wake up to the fact that maybe that's not what people want. And maybe I have to be lonely in wanting happiness for us, because if I am leaving my happiness up to what people around me want or doesn't want, then I'm doing the same thing, that I'm not prioritizing my own happiness. So I will keep doing that, but I am realizing that it's scary to lose hope in these things. And I'm sad that I feel like we are focusing on the wrong things. We are distracting ourselves from what really matters. And I just needed to talk myself through this because it's been a lot. And maybe someone can relate to this. Maybe someone has been feeling lonely in this as well, and then maybe this will help this one person. And if not, I also think it's okay to put reality out there. It's okay for me as well to say what I think about this, because I've been kind of quiet about this whatever I'm going through, because I haven't understood what it was. I'm just wondering when we're supposed to wake up and what can actually help us see that it's possible to be happy, and it's the one and only thing we should focus on. If I'm happy, that will affect the people around me. If you're happy, that will affect the people around you. And it has this positive snowball effect on your future, on your relationships, on your work situations. It has the effect of everything, but we just think that we will be happy if we find the money or the job or the house or the things or the beauty, or we rid ourselves of these things and these problems, and then we can be happy. But I truly believe it's the other way around. We need to find happiness first, and then that will affect the change in all of the other things. Thank you if you stayed with me all of this time.